4926. To level off from a descent maintaining the descending airspeed, the pilot should lead the desired altitude by approximately A. 20 feet, B. 50 feet, C. 60 feet. The correct answer is B. To level off from a descent maintaining the descending airspeed, the pilot should lead the desired altitude by approximately 50 feet. This will allow the aircraft to slow down and level off without overshooting the desired altitude. The amount of lead required will vary depending on the aircraft's descent rate and the pilot's technique. A good rule of thumb is to lead the altitude by 10% of the descent rate. For example, if the aircraft is descending at 500 feet per minute, the pilot should lead the altitude by 50 feet. It is important to note that the lead required will also vary depending on the aircraft's configuration. For example, an aircraft with flaps extended will require more lead than an aircraft with flaps retracted. The pilot should always consult the aircraft's flight manual for the specific procedures and techniques required for leveling off from a descent. 4867. While recovering from an unusual flight attitude without the aid of the attitude indicator, approximate level pitch attitude is reached when the A. Airspeed and altimeter stop their movement and the VSI reverses its trend. B. Airspeed arrives at cruising speed, the altimeter reverses its trend, and the vertical speed stops its movement. C. Altimeter and vertical speed reverse their trend, and the airspeed stops its movement. The correct answer is A. When recovering from an unusual flight attitude without the aid of the attitude indicator, the pilot must use the airspeed indicator, altimeter, and vertical speed indicator, VSI, to determine the aircraft's attitude. The airspeed indicator will show the aircraft's speed relative to the air, the altimeter will show the aircraft's altitude, and the VSI will show the aircraft's rate of climb or descent. As the pilot makes adjustments to the aircraft's pitch attitude, the airspeed indicator, altimeter, and VSI will all show movement. The pilot must continue to make adjustments until the airspeed indicator, altimeter, and VSI are all stable and the aircraft is in level flight. The airspeed indicator will stop its movement when the aircraft is flying at a constant speed. The altimeter will stop its movement when the aircraft is no longer climbing or descending. The VSI will reverse its trend and show a zero rate of climb or descent when the aircraft is in level flight. Therefore, the approximate level pitch attitude is reached when the airspeed and altimeter stop their movement and the VSI reverses its trend. 4927. During recoveries from unusual attitudes, level flight is attained the instant A. The horizon bar on the attitude indicator is exactly overlapped with the miniature airplane. B. A zero rate of climb is indicated on the VSI. C. The altimeter and airspeed needles stop prior to reversing their direction of movement. The correct answer is C. The reversal and stabilization of the airspeed indicator and altimeter needles signify a level pitch attitude. 4873-1. You enter an unusual attitude after failure of your attitude indicator. To recover, which instruments do you consult for the best pitch information? A. Turn indicator and VSI. B. Airspeed, VSI, and altimeter. C. VSI and airspeed to detect approaching VMO. The correct answer is B. When the attitude indicator fails, the pilot must rely on other instruments to determine the aircraft's attitude. The airspeed indicator, VSI, and altimeter can be used to determine the aircraft's pitch attitude. The airspeed indicator will show the aircraft's speed relative to the air. If the aircraft is in a nose-up attitude, the airspeed will be low. If the aircraft is in a nose-down attitude, the airspeed will be high. The VSI will show the aircraft's rate of climb or descent. If the aircraft is in a climb, the VSI will show a positive rate of climb. If the aircraft is in a descent, the VSI will show a negative rate of descent. The altimeter will show the aircraft's altitude. If the aircraft is in a nose-up attitude, the altitude will decrease. If the aircraft is in a nose-down attitude, the altitude will increase. By combining the information from the airspeed indicator, VSI, and altimeter, the pilot can determine the aircraft's pitch attitude and make the necessary adjustments to recover from the unusual attitude. The turn indicator and VSI are not as helpful in determining the aircraft's pitch attitude. The turn indicator will show the aircraft's rate of turn, but it will not show the aircraft's pitch attitude. The VSI will show the aircraft's rate of climb or descent, but it will not show the aircraft's pitch attitude. The airspeed, VSI, and altimeter are the most helpful instruments in determining the aircraft's pitch attitude when the attitude indicator fails. 4875-1, which is the correct sequence for recovery from a spiraling, nose-low, increasing airspeed, unusual flight attitude? A. Increase pitch attitude, reduce power, and level wings. B. Reduce power, correct the bank attitude, and raise the nose to a level attitude. C. Reduce power, raise the nose to level attitude, and correct the bank attitude. The correct answer is B. To correct the bank attitude and return to straight flight, apply coordinated aileron and rudder pressure while keeping the turn coordinator in mind. Reduce power to prevent excessive velocity and loss of altitude. Put gentle back elevator pressure on the nose to raise it to a level flight posture.